So here is Gottum after returning back from Rocking Horse, where he got to experience being at a competition, but he did not compete. And I really felt that helped him grow mentally. He can be a pretty emotional horse, so it's kind of been a process to get him to do things. And the biggest thing I've been wanting to work on is relaxation and getting him to work correctly through his body, because then once it's done correctly, then he can use the proper muscles and it will feel more comfortable for him. So you saw he got a little uptight, still going to the right. He is a little stuck through the rib cage because I've had body work done on him. So trying to just kind of be a little bit like a yoga instructor to get him to stretch around. And even when we go to pick up the canter kind of in the beginning, he still gets a little nervous. He used to bolt. So what I do is I like to stay posting through the trot, and then I was staying off his back. So he's just allowed, if I was to really pull back and kind of lock him down, he'd feel trapped and confined. So what I'm trying to do is to do half halts and then baby steps. And so for the down transitions, I like to teach my horses when I close my knee. So I'm not having to use my hand for a down transition. So then I go to ask for the left lead. And you may think, oh, well, he's got trouble on the right lead. But he's really funny, and this can tend to happen with the young horses when they have tension. When I go to ask for the left lead, he picks up the right lead. So when he does that, I just asked him to come back down to the trot, and I'm going to stay posting, and then I'm going to ask for the canter. And if he goes to pick up the wrong lead like he was about to there, I'm going to abort. And then I come back to the trot, try to make sure I can get him positioned, and then ask for the canter. And he did that quite nice for him. Again, there was no bolting. I'm going to stay off his back. Sometimes what he'll do is he'll kind of grab the bit and stick his head down and kind of go faster. But I'm really trying to be nice and soft while wrapping my legs around him so he feels secure. And here he's starting to give me a really nice feeling, stretching over his back, asking for the trot transition. And now I'm going to go to the right again. And that was a much more honest transition. He flipped his head a little bit, but he stayed relaxed through his back. So I'd much rather him right now come up in the contact instead of what he kind of used to do, which is, or he still does, is curl and break at the wrong vertebrae. So I'm just trying to get him to connect correctly. And then when he relaxes, you see I can reward him. But every now and then he likes to kind of take a little advantage. So I released and he wanted to go faster. So he's got to understand the rules of if I soften, it doesn't mean that we run faster. It means that we can just stay in the nice canter. And so there he finally softened. I was even able to just play around a little bit, and I gave him a nice pat. And I'm going to ask him to trot here shortly. Closing my knee. So again, I can stay soft in my hand. And he's giving me a much truer connection. And again, I'm just staying soft with my hand, just doing half halts when I need to. And going and cantering to the left again. And he's getting the idea much better of relaxing in the canter. And this is also kind of set on a slope, so it's very good to work the young horses to help with the balance. It can be a little tricky in the beginning because, again, they don't have balance, but it's really good to work on a nice undulating ground. And there he did a really good job of dropping to the trot. So, and then coming to the jumps, I've worked him a little bit over jumping stuff, just keeping it very quiet. So I like to teach them to walk to the jump, staying relaxed. It's pretty good for him. So Again, when he would jump, he would like to bolt afterwards because, again, he kind of can turn into a bit of adrenaline junkie sometimes. And he would do this on the ground as well. But he's starting to understand and relax. And so kind of what I'm doing is I kind of up, we go and we jump a couple of jumps, and then I bring it back down. We stand and we walk around a little bit, and then we go and we jump again. So his adrenaline may go up a little bit more, and then I try to bring him back down. Sometimes that means I'll do it more transition. So if a horse gets quick after the jump, I'll do lots of trotting it and then halting afterwards. And he jumped that really good. And then, of course, he wanted to prop his back about it. But again, I've made sure that I'm addressing any ulcers that he has. He's had chiro and massage. So just working all through that. And then he jumps the last jump. Lovely. Of course, my cameraman kind of looked down. But I decided to end there. So a couple of days later, again, I like doing a lot of different things. We have access to a good water obstacle. And there was a little bank kind of on the side that I started to introduce him to the changing in ground, which was really good there. He likes to go through the water. He likes to splash through the water. And then I just thought, okay, well, let's see. He did the small one. Let's see if he'll do the big one. And he was like, I'm not sure. So I hopped off and kind of showed him through the groundwork that I have done. I was able to get him to do it with me on the ground. So then I popped back on, and that transferred to him as well. So again, the biggest thing in teaching horses anything to be confident, you want to make sure that you give them their head. So lots of space to use their neck. And you'll see I'll grab mane so I can stay really quiet and out of the way. So then he's able to maintain confidence, and I just stay nice and positive with my leg. I want him to kind of walk. He's very willing now to go. This is really good for him. I was very proud of him. So then I decided to walk him in and see if he'll just pop up the bank. Again, grab mane. He's a very powerful horse, so that is no problem for him at all. And then he just dropped back down again, and then that's where I quit for the day. Very good day. Lainey's trying to save a turtle. Pick it up from the back end. Come on, you can do it. Come on, pick it up by the booty. There you go. Yeah. Okay, I'm coming to help you. So I decided to take a Gottum to another farm. This is called Barnstaple South. It's a great place where you can take your young horses and do cross-country schooling. And I was actually pretty shocked at how good emotionally and mentally he was handling it, as there was a fair amount of horses there. But he felt really in a good mindset. So popped him over a couple of jumps. You can see every now and then he gets a little quick. I think really his favorite thing is to splash through water. But I'm really just kind of playing around, trying to get him to enjoy things. And so this was our first introduction to a ditch. And I kind of expected him just to go right over it because he was so good about the water. But he had scared himself. And so making sure, you'll see I'm kind of grabbing the strap on my saddle. But I'm making sure I'm not pulling on his face in any way. If I am, it's only to direct him kind of to stay in the center of the obstacle. So kind of the biggest mistake that people make is they pull backwards. So I just hopped off because obviously I need to help him kind of bridge the gap a little bit. And I've been pretty successful of when he hits that wall, if I just hop off and I give him a second. So kind of what he's doing is he wants to ignore the obstacle. He'll walk past it. But then if I show it to him, he goes, oh my God. So I just want him to be comfortable in the space of the obstacle first, where he'll even just suggest, or I just want the try to just recognize the fact that it's there. And he goes, no, it's scary. I don't want any part of it. So I'm going to ask him again. Just stand right here with me. And then I turned him around and came back, and he popped right over it. He was pretty proud of himself for that. So I went back and forth a couple of times, and then I got back on him. And again, I'm holding my strap, and I tried to stay on the buckle, and he popped right over. And again, the biggest thing is to not want to pull when you get to the base. So you see I have a loopy rein when I get there. And now I head to a bigger ditch. And now you can see he's starting to pull me down to the obstacles. And so he even did the big ones. And so it was a really good day for Gottum. It's really fun to experience the change of when they're kind of afraid and unsure to then when they become really confident and enjoy it. So I'm always wanting to teach them to do it slow first, so getting them really brave and confident at the walk, because then that means they can do it from any distance. And you'll see he comes down to this big ditch and he pops it lovely, and it was really a great day for Gottum.